Hi, everybody. A baseline truth in our Christian faith is this. We are not saved by our good works, but we are saved to do good works. I think about all the good works that our church has done over the years here. One that actually comes to mind is when we were growing here at the on the Salisbury Road campus, known as Allison United Baptist Church at the time. And we gotten to the point where we realized we needed to tear down the existing building because we needed to build a newer one and a bigger one. And I remember on the day we tore it down, they had wrapped the chains through all the windows they had taken out and around some of the key beams, and then they tied it to a bulldozer. And then they said, Dave, we want you to tear it, to pull the levers and bring the church building down. And so I jumped in, and everybody was watching, and down came the building. And I remember that night coming back, and it was late in the evening, and I just remember staring at this big dark hole in the ground, and I was thinking, my goodness, what are we doing? And what have I led these people into? And of course, in the days to come, there was, more growth, and there was excitement, but there was also a lot of stress and changes and difficulties as we just navigated everything. But we did feel it was God's good work that He was wanting us to do at that moment. And I think again over the years about, some of the other good works God, I really felt called us to do as a church. I think about our whole multi-site focus over the last 15 years or so. About where we reached out to sister Baptist churches like Boundary Creek Baptist Church, and we reached out obviously to Brentwood Baptist and to Riverview Baptist. And in those relationships that we were creating and helping to understand to do church in a whole new way, we really, our hope and goal was that we would redeem churches that were declining, and there would be at least a new chapter, a new season of life and witness. And I can tell you that as I look back at all those multi-site adventures, that there was an impact and a difference was made, even in the midst of a changing culture around us. I also think about other good works like our community care and helping out schools with their breakfast program. One in the high school in particular, I think about how we helped them with their breakfast program and helped create a pantry where students in need could find basic necessity items. And I know in talking with some of the leadership there over the years that they said, your support made the difference. I think about some ministries over the years here that again was a good work. And not to highlight any ministry over another, but one that's close to my heart was the Next Generation Leadership Group of high school students, where we would meet and we would help them dream and gain confidence in what kind of leader was God calling them to be and however they were called to influence. And I can tell you, as I see now some of those high school students years later, as they worked out their calling and their vocation and the impact they're having, I say that's a good work. Of course, I think about other people here where we created space for them to find their calling. I think about Bruno and Kathleen Susi as they were called into the mission field, the global field of need, and how we were an anchor for them and support. And I think too about all the other people over the years that we were able to intersect with them at a critical point as they were sorting out their call to ministry. And my mind goes back to the early days like Rob Nyland and Paul Legier. And then, of course, I think about people too like Gordon Dickinson and Keith Grant. And I think too in the more recent years, even like Blake and Amy Dawson and Zeke. And of course, I think presently today about Aiden and Juliana and Sarah, all working out their calls to ministry. See, those are all good works. And I guess I just want to leave you on this, that when we think about doing the good works God calls us to do, it's just filled with a lot of stuff. It's filled with wonder and amazement that God's working through us in these ways. It's also filled with a lot of stress and strain at times too, and a lot of sacrifice. But my prayer for you is that as you guys enter this new chapter, this new transition chapter, that you'll be asking, what are the good works God wants us to do? And I think that's going to be an exciting story to share.